A horror game that has Area 51 type aliens and monsters while being a driving simulator has the potential to be a unique and enjoyable game. This is what Pacific Drive had in mind, where you drive a station wagon avoiding anomalies, collecting crafting materials, and finding a way home. Is this one of the best horror games? Or does this game crash and burn? Pacific Drive, developed by brand new developer Ironwood Studios and published by Kepler Interactive, starts off with the Olympic Peninsula promising new technology, but for some reason, everyone had to evacuate. Naturally, with people being forced to evacuate, the government sealed off every entrance to make sure no one enters the peninsula. So I entered the peninsula because I had some Uber Eats to deliver. Is there a Cheryl here? I started to notice that rocks can't hold their shape and start disappearing when a portal opens up, sucking me into the exclusion zone, where everything is just radiated. I can't get very far on foot, so I repair a station wagon and get introduced to two characters, Tobias and Francis. They direct me to the only shelter in the outer zone, a garage, owned by renowned scientist Dr. Turner. Oppie doesn't like me being in her garage, nor does she like Tobias and Francis, but she has no choice but to help me escape the outer zone. Now, before I go too deep into the story, it is fitting that I first talk about the game. The gameplay is fairly simple. The main action you're going to be doing is drive. 1997. You really need to drive everywhere because the world is so massive, you cannot go from one place to another without having a car. I mean, you could walk all over the place, but only if you really hate yourself. Naturally, like a real car, the more you drive, the more worn down your car will get, so you need to take care of it. This is where the second biggest activity for the game comes into play, crafting. While you're out on your drives, you will come across abandoned houses, laboratories, and watchtowers, all with crafting materials inside like duct tape, rubber, plasma, and so on. Theoretically speaking, the better parts you get for your car, the stronger it should be. But I didn't find that to be the case, because I would be driving down the road and sometimes I'll hit a pebble or something and my car will lose half its health. What do you mean you lost half your health? Go find it. This is one of the flaws for the game. I was constantly stressed out that I could never do a run without losing half my health, and then I had to worry whether or not I had enough resources to fix my car or not. You unlock upgrades for your car like armored doors or a better engine to try and make it the best station wagon that you can. And I truly fell in love with my car and wanted it to be in tip-top shape, but every run always ended horribly. So I would just be like, man, aren't you beautiful? God damn it! Piece of shit! The game has its own internal clock, making the game seem more real, as you can go out on a drive, 2002, while it's daytime, and depending on how far you drive out into the world, it will become night. While the daytime is perfect, as the game is a lot less scary because, you know, this little thing called light, nighttime is when it truly shines as a horror game. You'll be hearing something moving in the grass or strange staticky noises, all while you can't see a thing. Man, it's kinda dark in here. Oh, you scared me there. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, of course they only move when I'm not looking! Come on! Anomalies is the game's monsters meant to scare you. You'll be driving down the road and all of a sudden you're surrounded by anomalies. However, they come off more as an annoyance rather than scary. For most of them, you just need to drive around them, which gets really annoying fairly quickly. Or you'll get these bunny anomalies that can harm or take control of your car, so you need to completely stop what you're doing, get out of your car, and pluck them off. Not to say all of them are evil, some anomalies will heal your car. This is a great aspect for the game, having a wide variety of anomalies. Let me get this straight. You're an anomaly, you're an anomaly, you're an anomaly, I'm an anomaly! Are there any more anomalies I should know about? Say you finish with a run. You gathered crafting materials, avoided anomalies, and you're ready to go back to the garage. Do you drive back? No, just take the easy way back. Around the map, there are junctions that have these balls called anchors. The thing about these anchors is that they have so much energy, they give off radiation. But because they have so much energy, if you collect enough of them and put them into your car, you can open up a gateway back to the garage. Okay. Now what?
drive into it.
What do you mean, drive into it? That beam of light is the gateway back to the garage, and as time passes, the area becomes radiated as a storm closes in on the gateway. So as soon as you open the gateway, you need to put pedal to the metal or else you will start taking damage. As if that wasn't bad enough, there is a second, deadlier storm also closing in. If you get caught in the second storm, you lose vision as you take more damage, ultimately leading to your defeat. This run is a bust. I guess I'll just load up an old save of mine so that this never happened. Hey, autosave, what are you doing?
Oh, just saving the game.
You're saving to your own file, right?
Nope, I saved over your manual save, so sadly, you can't load an old save file.
And this is the biggest issue I have about this game, is that the autosave harmed me more than helped me. It wouldn't be an issue at all if the autosave had its own file like in Skyrim, but no, it just has to save over your save file, forcing you to return to a garage defeated with no materials, so you can't even fix your car. I keep complaining and complaining about the gameplay. But what about the There's not much of a story here, to be honest. The game heavily relies on its gameplay to make the player enjoy the game enough to complete it. But picking off where I left off, turns out the car is a remnant, which as far as I could tell, is a bad thing. They want me to test this theory by driving my car into an anomaly called Colossal Cappy. Turns out, the car is a remnant, and I may have caused a mass hallucination. To confirm that I did, I look at 3 murals to find the source of this mass hallucination. And by the way, Abby and Francis are fighting each other the whole time, like they really hate each other. I heard Abby got Francis demoted.
Oh my god, spill the tea.
Is this really the best skit I could come up with? Grizzly, I'm sorry, this is a new low for us. I locate the source of the mass hallucinations, but it doesn't have power. So we came up with a plan to use my station wagon to jumpstart the power grid. How, you might ask? It's simple, I drive. 2019, seriously, because that's the only thing I can do. I just drive around, letting my car get zapped, and that somehow jumpstarts the power grid? I don't know how that works, but apparently it worked too well because I caused a power surge, damaging batteries, and Tobias sacrificed himself so that I could continue into the deep zone. Yeah, I never met the guy. Why am I holding a funeral service for him?
Tobias was a man who loved cryptids, and—
Grizzly! The funeral's cancelled!
Oh, it took me 2 hours to write that speech!
I entered this place called The Well, where I go through a maze of TVs and hear conversations from the past, as well as Tobias once again. Recovering the station wagon and avoiding being stuck in the well forever, I escaped, and it was all for nothing. I am still stuck in the outer zone and will be forever. Abby congratulates Francis on his theory being right. What theory, you might be asking? I don't know. I didn't really care because they kept fighting all the time, and then Abby just lets Francis and I keep exploring the outer zone. It's sad to say, but I did not enjoy Pacific Drive. The game heavily relies too much on the gameplay and not enough on the story. Looking back on it, it was a fine story, but I couldn't follow it during my play session to save my life. It was just, drive here, okay, now drive there. Oops, Tobias sacrificed himself, how about you drive some more? I know there's also crafting, but you're never crafting a base or building something other than parts for your car. For the most part, it's just driving. It was fun at first. I really enjoyed being out on the road in unfamiliar territory, but slowly and surely it got annoying. Probably the biggest factor for this are the anomalies. Again, at first, they were a big threat, especially ones I've never seen before. That fear of the unknown turned into screams of annoyances as there's another goddamn anomaly blocking the goddamn road. It's worse than just having an actual speed bump. The music is creepy, eerie, excellent, and also non-existent. They only save music for actual big events like entering the garage or leaving the well. Other than that, when you're on the road, nothing plays, which I kind of appreciate. Not everything needs a song, just the important parts. If you do want music while you're driving, there is a radio that does play copyrighted songs. There are also talk shows on the road and they probably tell yet another story, but I never listened to them as I wanted music. The graphics look good. There are no problems there. I love how the station wagon looks, but there are a lot of glitches. Especially if you load a manual save, then things will just appear out of place. This reminds me of another issue with the game, is that they tell you everything and nothing at all. For example, I got really stuck on this mission where I had to build a limb shield, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out where to get one of the materials. Maybe the game did tell me and I just ignored it, because whenever you scan something, it gives you the full background of said item, and I look at it and say, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them. I did love the HUD and how you had to physically look at monitors to see the health of your car or to see the map. I thought this was a fantastic choice for the game because it added a bit more difficulty to the game as it took your eyes off the road, making it more realistic. Also adding to the realism is having to start your car and put it into drive. And if you forgot to put your car into park, then it actually rolled away. The atmosphere was always eerie and bizarre, no matter how used to the anomalies I got. If I were to try and fix this game, I would honestly lessen the driving mechanic, even though it's in the title of the game. There are times where I needed to turn on an antenna, but what if there was like a broken part on the antenna and I needed to bring it back to the garage to fix it, and then I returned that part to the antenna? Or having to jumpstart the power grid. Why not do a traditional jumpstart? Why do I have to do a drive around getting zapped jumpstart? Letting the player craft more things than just radiation outfits and car parts give me more of a drive to collect more rare materials, because I never felt the need to really upgrade my car to its fullest potential. The biggest thing that needs fixing is the autosave. Give it its own file slot. That's all you need to do and it's perfect. This would increase the playtime for the game and give the players a break from doing the same repetitive action over and over again. The biggest insult to injury is that I got the achievement that says I beat the game, but it's a rare achievement. Less than 10% of people who actually bought and played this game saw it through to the end, and that should say everything right there. Pacific Drive, more like no drive to beat the game. At least I could say that I actually beat the game. I truly am Drive. 2011.